Welcome to Legends of the Tabletop, everyone. I am your host, Sarah. I have with me today Jonathan and Zach, and we're going to be going over some of the origin feats in the 2024 Player's Handbook, and we'll be talking about our favorite feats versus what they used to be. So, Zach, do you want to start?
Yeah, I picked as someone who's never played healer before. I picked healer, the feat. Um, I think it's a obviously the most important role in a D&D party.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
Seth plays a healer.
this new one offers some cool things as compared to the old one. So I'll read the old one. You are able to physician, allowing you to mend wounds quickly and get your allies back in the fight. You gain the following benefits. When you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, the creature also gains 1 hit point. So that's pretty good here, rather than just coming up and stabilizing, they're actually back in the fight. As an action, you can spend 1 use of a healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it, plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit die. Creature can't gain hit points from this feat again until it finishes a short or long rest. So that is a significant amount of hit points, especially later in the game when you're adding the amount of hit die, but still don't think it's quite as good as the new version, which gives you Battle Medic. If you have a healer's kit, which I assume you will, you can expend 1 use of it. I don't know how many uses you get in a healer's kit, but anyway, you can expend 1 use of it and tend to a creature within 5 feet of yourself as a utilize action. That creature can expend 1 of its hit point dice, and you then roll that die. The creature gains a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your proficiency bonus, and that is also boosted by healing rerolls, which I think is an awesome mechanic that, as far as I know, it hasn't been in D&D before. You get to reroll on your attacks, but not on your heals. So whenever you roll a die to determine the number of hit points you restore with a spell or with this feat's battle medic benefit, you can re-roll the die. If it rolls a 1, you must use the new roll. So I think that's really cool. That's it's essentially what is the Great Weapon Fighter or whatever, but for healers. I think that adds a little bit more interest to the healing mechanic and can definitely help boost up some heals when you're getting rid of ones. I think that's cool.
It's for the Nat 1 queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially in areas where obviously if you're at 0 hit points, getting any life is good.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you're in situations where you're taking area of effect damage and it's very small. It might be sitting on a fire or something.
Mm-hmm.
And your prey goes immediately back
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
even though you used your healer's kit. So I think that allows a little bit more leeway
Mm-hmm.
where that person can go, hey, I got 12 hit points instead of 1 or 5. So it just helps that out a little bit. And I think that's a very important addition.
And all those crazy high-level heals where you're rolling a bunch of dice to heal a bunch of people at once.
Mm-hmm.
All those ones can turn into whatever the max roll is. So that can be a huge benefit.
I like it. Jonathan, do you want to go?
Absolutely.
Tell us what your favorite was?
Yeah, so full disclosure, the one that I picked is basically the same exact thing as it was in the previous book. So pretty easy for me. I picked Savage Attacker. So the old rules read, once per turn when you roll damage for a melee weapon attack, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice and use either total. The new rules as written for Savage Attacker on an origin feat. You've trained to deal particularly damaging strikes. Once per turn, when you hit a target with a weapon, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice twice and use either roll against the target. I picked it not because it's different, but because I think it's a feat that I would have always skipped over if it wasn't part of these origin feats. I think because feats were so important and you only got them once if you were a human right off the bat, or at those specific levels, I was always trying to get a higher end sharpshooter, something that's a little bit bigger and more impactful. This is super impactful, and I think I would have always skipped over it if it wasn't structured
Yeah.
in this new structure. So now when I look at it, I'm like, holy crap, this is an awesome ability.
As a fighter, it's
Yeah.
the big one you would pick.
Yeah, and getting it right in the beginning, so like it's impactful right away.
Mhm.
You know, those low levels, if you're doing 1 to 5 damage and you can turn that to 6 to 9 damage, you could be killing people in one hit very easily.
Nice.
So that, I mean, I think for me that was something that I really focused on in the 2024 handbook.
I like it. Lots of rerolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of rerolls.
lots of let's get rid of low numbers. We're the heroes here, people.
It's our
We
game.
don't need any ones on this table.
No, no ones. All right, so is it my turn? So I chose Lucky.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and read it from the old book, and then I'm going to do the 2024 update. So this says you have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. You choose which of the d20s is used for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. Roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. If more than one creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of a roll, the points cancel each other out. No additional dice are rolled. You regain your expended luck points when you finish a long rest. So, this is the updated origin feat. Lucky, it says luck points. You have a number of luck points equal to your proficiency bonus and can spend the points on the benefits below. You regain your expended luck point when you finish a long rest. Advantage. When you roll a d20 for a d20 test, you can spend 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on the roll. Disadvantage. When a creature rolls a d20 for an attack roll against you, you can spend 1 luck point to impose disadvantage on that roll. So I kind of like this because if we're in battle and I'm up and I have something in my head that I want to do, and we're kind of relying on my character to do something really incredible to get us out of a tight spot, I'm just going to take these 2 d20s and I'm just going to roll both of them. Because I don't want to have that plan set in my head and then I roll and the roll sucks and it's a nat 1.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to automatically roll with the 2 d20s. So I like that as an update on what the original origin feat was.
And in the old book, it doesn't use the verbiage advantage. So I wonder if
Right.
with this new one, say for sneak attack,
Mm,
if you have advantage, you might be able to get sneak
Yeah,
attack in situations
absolutely.
where you might not normally.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So just being able to impose advantage or disadvantage is
Yeah. I like
pretty
that.
clutch.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to use it.
And also, I think the old way that we use Lucky also is a lot like Chronal Shift that the
Mhm.
Wizards had, where they could see the roll happen, and then once the roll happened, decide if you wanted to re-roll.
Yeah.
And that felt more like time stopping,
Mm-hmm.
where you're able to go back a couple seconds and say, "Let's redo this."
Very similar mechanics.
Yeah. So now it's a little bit different because now you're like Sarah brought out, it's in the moment. You're just saying, I'm going to roll with advantage or I'm going to impose disadvantage on someone else. So it makes that the Chronal Shift and Lucky just have like a different flavor from each other.
Mhm.
They're a little bit more separate, but yet it's still super awesome.
I think the big point too is you have 3 luck points in the old book,
Mhm.
whereas in the new book, your luck points are based on your proficiency modifier, which
Yeah.
late game can be a lot higher than 3.
that'll
So
change.
you get a lot more opportunity to use it.
Yeah, players are always holding on to abilities
Mhm.
because they're afraid that they'll need it later. Because if I only have 2 or 3 of something, what happens an hour from now? I don't know. So I'm not going to do this thing.
Whereas if you have 6,
Yeah, you're more
Use a
likely to
lot
just
more
move. Yeah,
liberally,
use
yeah.
them. Yep. Awesome.
Right.
Great.
So those were our top picks. Sound off in the comments. Let us know what you guys chose for your favorite revised or updated origin feats. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your friends, do all the things, and we'll see you back here real soon. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Honorable mention to Tough.
Hi, Joe.